Hi everyone, I'm Hayden. If you want to know which city has the healthiest population on Earth, the data tells a surprising story. It's not a Scandinavian utopia or a blue zone in Japan. For several years running, the answer has been Hong Kong. We hold the world record for life expectancy, surpassing everyone else despite our legendary stress, cramped apartments, and some of the highest urban density on the planet. It's a clinical miracle. Our infant mortality is near zero, and our cancer survival rates are top tier. But as of the 1st of January 2026, the price of this miracle has changed. The government has officially ended the era of near-free healthcare. The accident and emergency fee has jumped to $400, and a public hospital bed now costs $300 a day. Yet, even with these price hikes, the paradox remains: why does the world's most efficient city have the world's longest queues? Today, we are decoding the healthcare logic of the new Hong Kong. We are exploring the $10,000 safety net, the protectionist bottlenecks, and the invisible price we pay for living longer. For decades, Hong Kong's public health was a low-tax, high-subsidy masterpiece. Until very recently, the government subsidized nearly 97% of every medical bill. But the 2026 reform is a calculated pivot. The goal is to move the subsidy closer to 90% for non-critical care. Why now? Because of the demographic tsunami. Hong Kong is aging faster than almost any other society. By 2040, 1 in every 3 residents will be over 65. The government realized that at the old price of $180, the system would face a total fiscal collapse within a decade. The new $400 accident and emergency fee isn't just about revenue. It's a behavioral tax. It's designed to stop people with minor flu symptoms from using a trauma center like a local clinic. In the logic of New Hong Kong, the emergency room is no longer a public right. It's a prioritized resource. If you are triaged as Category 1 critical, the fee is waived. If you aren't, you are paying a premium for the privilege of being in the queue. This is the city using price to filter the crowd. The most revolutionary part of the 2026 reform is the $10,000 annual spending cap. This is the city's answer to medical bankruptcy. In many countries, a chronic illness like cancer can destroy a family's wealth. In Hong Kong, the government has set a hard limit. Once a resident spends 10,000 Hong Kong dollars in a calendar year on public medical services, the rest is covered by the taxpayer. This creates a unique social safety net. It protects the poor, who are often exempt from fees anyway, and the seriously ill. But it creates a massive middle-class squeeze. If you are a middle-income earner, you are too rich for fee waivers, but too poor to afford the $10,000 per day luxury of a private hospital. You are stuck in the public system, paying the new higher fees, yet still waiting 3 years for a specialist appointment. For the middle class, the queue is a form of non-monetary taxation. To understand the wait, you have to understand the dual-track system. In Hong Kong, private hospitals function like high-end hotels. They cherry-pick the profitable, low-risk cases. They love maternity wards, elective plastic surgery, and routine screenings. But if you have a massive stroke, a complex multi-organ failure, or a life-threatening car accident, the private hospital will often stabilize you and then send you straight to a public hospital like Queen Mary or Queen Elizabeth. Why? Because only the public system has the massive scale, the blood banks, and the government-mandated equipment to handle the unprofitable business of saving lives. This leaves the public sector in a state of permanent, high-intensity low. It is a world-class ICU being used as a neighborhood clinic, and is buckling under the weight of its own excellence. The private sector sells experience, while the public sector sells survival. So, if the prices went up, why didn't the wait times go down? This brings us to the doctor imbalance. In Hong Kong, the public sector handles over 90% of all inpatient bed days, yet it only employs about 45% of the city's doctors. The other 55% are in the private sector, catering to the wealthy or those with high-end insurance. The doctor-to-population ratio in Hong Kong is roughly 2.1 doctors per 1,000 people. This is significantly lower than the 3 to 4 found in other developed economies like Singapore or Germany. Why is there a shortage? Historically, the local medical guild has been incredibly protective. For years, it was nearly impossible for a doctor trained at top universities in the US, UK, or mainland China to practice in Hong Kong without jumping through archaic hurdles. Even with the 2026 special registration pathways, the intake remains a trickle compared to the ocean of demand. The queue is a structural byproduct of a professional guild protecting its own market value. In Hong Kong, the scarcity of doctors is as much a political choice as it is a resource issue. The 2026 logic is clear. Hospitals are for the dying, clinics are for the living. The government is aggressively pushing primary healthcare through district health centers. They want these centers to act as the bouncer for the hospitals. By decentralizing care, the city is trying to manage its density. They want to train the population to see a family doctor first, but there's a cultural hurdle. In Hong Kong's hustle culture, people want the best, and they want it now. Most residents believe that a big hospital specialist is always better than a small clinic general practitioner. The A and E fee is the government's way of pricing out this cultural habit. There is a cost to the 4-year wait that doesn't show up in any government report, the caregiver burden. When a grandmother has to wait 3 years for a hip replacement, she isn't just waiting. She is becoming less mobile, requiring more daily assistance, and developing chronic pain. This force multiplies the stress on the family. In Hong Kong's urban DNA, this burden often falls on foreign domestic helpers or family members who have to quit their jobs. The long queue isn't just a medical issue, it's a massive drag on the city's labor productivity. We save money on the hospital bill, but we lose it in the shadow economy of home care. The efficiency of the hospital is built on the exhaustion of the family. Finally, we have to talk about the psychology of the queue. In a city where time is the most expensive commodity, why do we tolerate a 4-year wait? The answer lies in the social contract. For decades, the deal in Hong Kong was, we won't give you cheap housing, but we will give you world-class healthcare for the price of a McDonald's meal. But as the price rises in 2026, that contract is being renegotiated. People are starting to ask, if I'm paying $400, why am I still sitting on a blue plastic chair for 8 hours? The government is walking a tightrope between fiscal sustainability and social stability. The queue used to be a sign of a fair system, everyone waits their turn. But in 2026, it is starting to feel like a sign of a system that has reached its breaking point. Hong Kong's healthcare system is a miracle of survival, but it is a failure of time. We have created a city where you are statistically likely to live longer than anyone else on Earth, but you will spend a significant portion of those extra years waiting for the care you need. The 2026 reform is the city's way of admitting that the golden age of free healthcare is over. It has been replaced by a pragmatic, high-tech but strictly rationed system. It is a system that values clinical outcome over patient experience. The long queue is the hidden tax of a low-tax society. It is the manifestation of the Hong Kong hustle, where everything is fast, except for the things that are free. If you've navigated the new $400 fee system, or if you've been on a waiting list since before the pandemic, share your story. Is the $10,000 cap enough to make you feel safe? Or is the wait time still the real problem? Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.